Hey guys, Carrix here with another video. This time I'm going to be showing you guys how to get more sound than normal out of the deluxe build driver via a unique exploit in the programming with a method I like to call glitch hacking. So, let's get started. So, before we get started, I'd first like to give you guys a bit of context as to why this came up and why I'm showing you guys this. And this mainly has to do with how the build driver reads full balls. So as you guys know, within each slot are 3 switches that are hit by a series of pins on the back of the full balls. So when you insert in a full ball, it will read it. And this has been done similarly in the past with different things like the Astro switches or shift cars. And usually people have been able to hack them and kind of get extra sounds out of them that they don't have the toys for by pressing the right combination of switches. However, with the build driver, they actually made it more difficult to do, because as you'll notice, it has several series of switches that are spaced very closely to each other, which means that if you're trying to do it by hand, you actually have to input all these switches very quickly, or else it won't work. But it's designed in such a way that inserting a full ball will pretty much guarantee that it'll work. But there is, like I said, a unique exploit in the programming to where you can get different sounds and even get different matches via the use of trial forms. Now in the show, a trial form is any mismatch of an organic and inorganic full ball, but with a toy that actually extends beyond that to 2 balls of the same type. So to give you a first look at what I mean by this, I'll be using the tank and Sojiki full balls. So we insert in the 2 balls. They'll start up the standby phase, but if we remove the tank ball slightly and then put it back in, it'll actually be read as the line full ball, which will allow us to make the line cleaner best match. So right away, there is a best match you can make that is not included with the balls that come with the build driver and full ball holder. But we can actually make more than just that. If we pull it out a little bit more and put it back in, it gets read as Senpuki. And then if we slightly remove and reinsert the Sojiki ball, it changes to Kirin, which gives us the Kirin Cyclone best match. We can also do something a little different if we put in the Sojiki ball first. This creates the Rabbit Tank best match. And we can do a similar thing that we did before. If we pull out a bit more, that turns this into Taka. Then, if we do that for Tank, that gives us the Hawk Gatling best match. So right there, you're able to get 4 best matches using just Sojiki and Tank. Now, if we do something similar with Rabbit and Sojiki, that'll actually demonstrate the other thing that could happen if you use 2 mismatched balls and try to pull off this method, which is, as I basically demonstrated, to put in 2 balls, then slightly remove and then reinsert the first ball. If we do that for these 2, Rabbit turns into Sojiki, and vice versa. This is what I like to call the copy pattern, wherein the first ball will copy the second one. And if you're wondering if we can do anything like that with 2 actual best matchful balls, that's actually not something that's possible. because what the build driver does is that when you insert two full balls that create a best match, it basically locks in that best match, so you can't use that exploit, as they'll always be programmed to be recognized as the best match. And with that in mind, I'm going to show you guys some combinations of balls they can use to get some of the hard to get best matches, at least in terms of the actual balls for them. For my first set, I'll be using the Ninja and Phoenix balls to create the Beetle Camera best match. So, we're going to use Beetle first, and then Phoenix. If we do a slight pull, that gives us UFO, but if we do a slightly longer pull, you get Kabutomushi and Camera. And that gives us Beetle Camera. Second, I'll be using the Panda and Dragonful balls to give us the Mag Ghost best match. That gives us Mag Ghost form. Third, I'll be using the Densha and Smalfo full balls to create the Dog Mike best match. Which gives us Dog Mike form. Fourth and finally, I'll be using the Bat and Shobosha full balls to create the Merry Christmas best match. Which of course gives us Merry Christmas form. And there we go. So overall I actually find this to be something that's even more fascinating than the test modes that I showed off in the last video. And that's because while those were intentional, this is something that clearly wasn't, and yet it is something that's entirely possible. And it is something that's pretty cool because it actually is very fitting for the build driver, because a big theme behind the build driver, as you could kind of see and as you could kind of infer, is that the concept of mixing up the two full balls together is kind of like a science experiment. And in doing this, you're basically experimenting with different balls to see what can create which glitch match, as I like to call them. And it does add to the playability, just in a different way than you'd normally think. And it is something unique because it allows you to get sounds and functions, or at least sounds and combos, out of the build driver that you technically might not have. And what I showed here is barely scratching the surface of what you can do. There are a lot of different best matches you can make, including ones for all the different kinds of balls. And this is something that I didn't want to show too much of, because this is something I want you guys to try for yourselves. Because it is actually something pretty fun to do, to just use a couple of random balls and see what you can find. And it's exciting when you find a new combo that you might not have, that you would have gone before. And as I also demonstrated, you can get multiple combos out of the same two balls. So that really does add a lot to just kind of encouraging you to try pulling them out at different lengths and doing it in different orders and seeing just what you can make. I think that is something actually really cool. And I did want to show you guys those 4 specific best matches because if you have the balls I showed, it'll kind of save you the money, or it'll kind of save you from buying those ones if those balls are something that would be deemed as a bit too expensive for you. And it's something that I just think is worth sharing because it is something very fascinating and it's a unique way of getting new sounds or different sounds out of a rider belt. Next time I'll be reviewing the Deluxe Evolve Driver, Tuesday at 6 PM PST. So, thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please leave a like, let me know your thoughts down in the comments, and if you're new and would like to see more, please subscribe and hit the bell icon. And for now, this is KRX50, riding off.